Well, look, I just came off a board meeting, so I wanted to share with you just my tips and my thoughts on how to effectively run a board. So a lot of us are, entering into the space where you're going to be venture backed or you have an investor. Typically means that now you're going to operate with a level of oversight or governance. Some people that are going to check on, what you need to do financially, but just evaluate the decision making of you as the founder and CEO of the organization. So it's a little different in a startup, obviously, than some larger corporate entities. But let's just try to talk about some of the hard and soft skills of how to manage a board of a startup. One, it starts with the prep, right? So how you prepare and what's the narrative and how you're using and utilizing your team. So what I always like to do is you want to try to get out pre-reading to your board. Let's call it 48 hours before. If you can be in advance of that, awesome. But I think it's usually tough because of how much work goes into preparing for a board meeting. But you want to get your pre-reading to them 48 hours. Two sets of pre-reading. One is your financials. So getting them a financial package, you can either work with your CFO, or if you have a controller, you're a bookkeeper, or a lot of times it's you as the founder, but you want to give them a look on how is the business performing financially. The big thing that you're checking for there is effectively your cash out date. So you've raised capital, right, or money coming into the business. When are you going to run out, right? How long is that going to take you? Are you on or off track? That's what that financial package is going for. But that your P&L or your pro forma or your profit and loss statement is pre-telling the strategy of the business. So you want to make sure you spend a lot of time on there to make sure that that financial package supports the narrative that you're going to present. So that's one. You want to get the financial package. I think if you can over-deliver, you're also going to provide the deck ahead of time, right? So the presentation that you're going to share with the board before the meeting starts. It doesn't have to be all of the presentation, but the more you can share there, obviously the better, and it makes for a smoother meeting. Because honestly, the board meeting is really about being able to make decisions, right? So I like to try to get the deck out, at the same time as the financial package, if you can. I would say the third thing that you can really do to over-deliver on your board is if you can have pre-meetings with the board members to try to see exactly what they're looking for in the meeting. Because sometimes you're really trying to set the tone for it and make sure people are a part of the session. So I try to talk with all the board members before the meeting is started, and we get that going. So that's kind of the work that happens beforehand. So that's the pre-board meeting process. Well, now let's get into the board meeting, right? Look, the board's not your friend. Frankly, the job of them is oversight of the company and to hire and fire the CEO. So you should expect to have a tough discussion, but your job is to force alignment, right? Get decisions in clarity, and set a path forward to move the business forward. But the soft skill, the main thing that you're doing as the founder and the CEO is you want to give everybody in the room confidence, right? You're the cheerleader for the organization. If you as the founder and CEO aren't confident in the plans and what you're doing, well, that's a bad sign, right? Because if the leader isn't confident in the vision and the plan, well, then no one else is. So that's the soft skill, right? So you're not expected to constantly deliver good news. And I think that's where a lot of founders, I find them, running into difficulty is they're trying to hide things of the business. This isn't the time where you hide. You want to be very transparent. What you want to do is as you deliver bad news, you want to have a positive plan, right? And how to correct it. That's what the startup journey is, right? You're not expected to run a perfect business, because if that was the case, then it would already get acquired. The goal is to find a leader, right? And be the type of founder that is passionate, resilient, has the grit to withstand the ups and downs, and will constantly work at finding solutions to move the business forward. So I think confidence is probably the number one skill set of a great board meeting and a great leader of that board, meaning the founder and CEO. So I think, look, if you have great pre-reading, you've pre-aligned with the board, and then I think you deliver confidence with good and bad news and a very clear, organized pathway forward, you're going to have a great meeting. So look, those are my tips and tricks just quickly on how to run an effective board meeting. So good luck to you guys out there, and don't let the nerves get to you. It's all good. And the good thing is by the time you have a board, everyone has the same goal, and that's to create a big business.